Well, hello there. Welcome to this longer video because I'm covering all of the zodiac signs for the rest of January. What's the energy like for the rest of January? And just generally, this card wanted to pop out. So clearly, it wants to be seen. So the Six of Swords, yeah, this has mid-January energy to it, where it's about you're ready to move on. You're ready to push past what this month is already laying out for you. So I'm going to have timestamps in the description if you want to check out your sun, moon, or rising sign. I'm just going to do this in one long video for once. Let me know if you like this format and just comment and let me know. So we're going to start the very first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. So let's see what the general energy is for this mid-January. All right. Ooh. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Kind of sets precedence for each of the readings going forward. That's the perks of being the first sign in the zodiac. So we have the Eight of Swords. So right off the bat, this is you releasing how you've shown up in your life so far. You feel that this is a really good demarcation of the past from 2024 backwards, so that you can really focus on who you want to be moving forward in this year. Because we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is feeling really comfortable and really happy in your environment, in your home, with the people you hang around with. So it's really starting to feel like something that's more familiar to you, and you want more of it, like bring on more. So what I'm also picking up, and I'm coming back to this, is there may be moments where you're like, oh, but who am I to ask for more? Who am I to want more of this? Is that being greedy? It's not. All right. So if those thoughts come up, it's time to just kind of recognize them and then fling them away and move on. Because the next card you have is the Hierophant. And this is really saying, like, what is true for you? What's your spirituality goal? I guess is what's coming up. What's your spirituality goal? Because you've put things off maybe long enough, is what I'm picking up for you, Aries. And you're ready to finally explore that side of your life. And there's going to be things that are going to pop up, little hints that pop up. The universe is basically going to be saying, yes, do that. Yes, do that. You're going to be invited to different things. And, you know, you might hesitate because it might be something that you've never done in the past. But this is it. We don't care what we did or didn't do in the past. If you're willing to make change, you got to start making change. And it's kind of a no-brainer. And yet we seem to always want to revert back to that comfort zone, especially if we're busy or we're stressed. We have enough of the change going on around us that we really need to find that comfort zone. And that's okay for a little bit. But then you have to be willing to get the battery pack that is your energy and move forward into the next thing. So the fourth card that I have for you, we have Queen of Cups. And this is truly being in alignment with who you are on an emotional level. And when you do that, you really learn your inner self so much deeper. Be willing to go deep on that. And I'm feeling that this isn't just about emotions, but it's about how you connect intuitively. And it feels like you do it in a different way, or a little quirkier when it comes to trusting your intuition. You might not even calling it trust your intuition. For you, it just might be, oh, you know, I just know it is what it is. I can't explain it. It's like trying to understand, you know, how radio waves can be heard. You know, I mean, I don't know. There's people out there that know that kind of stuff. For most of us, we use these things, and yet we don't really need to know how everything works. All right. So that's for you. I'm going to move on to Taurus next, and let's see what we have for Taurus. All right, shuffle those cards back in and let's see what we have for Taurus. I'm going to pull 4 cards and we'll just move forward with those. All right, so we have the King of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, I love it, 9 of Wands, and the King of Cups. So we got bookend kings and kings here. So this being the energy of mid-January for you, Taurus, this is totally your energy. Creature comforts, but it's also more than that. This is reminding you to celebrate the things that you have done so far, even this year. And if it's not that, okay, something else I'm picking up on is maybe you're still in relaxation mode. And maybe there's part of you that might be thinking, oh, should I be doing more than I am right now? So truly, Taurus, that's kind of taking away from your relaxation mode. It's important for you to trust that, trust what you feel. Okay, we got to trust our bodies. When they tell us to slow down, we're meant to slow down. And I love that there's a 10 and a 9. So we've got, you can think about how you've accomplished things and what you've accomplished. If you're still in that gratitude mode of 2024. And I'm also picking up that maybe you aren't thinking that what you've done is enough or important enough to celebrate. It's like everything, celebrate every day. You don't have to wait until it's something huge and a big milestone or anything like that. Hey, did you get up and make your bed? Woohoo, you did it. You know, when we have more of that energy of loving ourselves, of giving ourselves, not compliments, but if we just acknowledge the little things we do in our lives, I think that that's the key to really bolstering your emotions and your energy moving forward. And then we have the 9 of Wands, which is that maybe it can be a bit of a struggle, or the things that you've tried to accomplish, there's been slowdowns or obstacles that have been getting in the way. And I think it's really important for you to trust that you have the strength to get through anything. And maybe that's why you need to really look back on the things you've done, even the simple little things, because they all add up, right? They all add up. Like you think brick by brick, it's going to build a tower. And if you don't build that solid foundation, that tower's going to be a leaner, right? And then we have the King of Cups, which it's interesting because Aries just had the Queen of Cups is the final card, and you've got the King of Cups, which is saying that you rule your own emotions for better or for worse. This is something that allows you to have that balance and that emotional stability, because when you do that, there's that stillness, deep stillness, where you can really start to feel more comfortable with who you're becoming. And I really feel that you also trust your intuition, like the message I had for Aries, and you have that ability to just know things. And I think it's because you think you know them because you learned them and you practice them and stuff like that, and they just kind of second nature. But don't discount that, okay? We can't possibly remember everything we've learned from the moment we're born to the moment we are living right this second. We cannot remember all of that. But it is, cognitively, but it is deep within us. It's deep within our cells, our DNA. And if we just trust that we know when we need to know something, then we're going to be so much better for it. Okay. So there you go, Taurus. That is your reading for this mid and end of January. And keep watching if you want your sun, moon, and rising. All right, so now it's Gemini. So let me pull 4 cards for Gemini. Okay, so we've got the Two of Swords. So there might be a few things on your mind. We've got the Seven of Cups, we've got the Five of Wands, and we've got the Six of Wands. Wow. Feels like a lot of conflicting energy. So if this is something you've been experiencing, then this is a confirmation. If this is something that you haven't been experiencing, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come around, but it is something to be aware of, that there may be some choices you need to make. Maybe you have some indecisiveness that's happening, but it also feels like maybe you don't have all of the entire picture yet, and you need more data, more information in order to come to the decision or conclusion that you need to. And because Seven of Cups is saying you're conflicted in how you feel about whatever this choice of things is. And it's important for you to take the time to not weigh the pros and cons, but to tap into your heart and how does this decision feel when you're thinking about the solution for it or something. It's not like it's a problem. It feels like it actually just feels like your energy, because it's intellect, it's air, the element of air. So that's totally you, Gemini. And I think this is basically just saying that you're still who you are, no matter what goes on and no matter what circumstances might come in to kind of I don't know, ruffle your feathers, so to speak. But it's really trusting who you are. And that's the place where you can get to decide how you want to feel, no matter what comes up. Like you see in these cups, there's some people don't like snake. They're afraid of snakes. And, we've got bats, there's skulls energy here. And there's also good things. So, but you have to find the good in the maybe not so good. And it all comes down to how you feel and how you feel about yourself. And the Five of Wands, it feels like this is definitely the time to start taking action. And it might feel like there's a bit of a slowdown, like there's not like a straight shot to whatever it is you're doing. There's a lot of little different steps. And it's so funny. There's an old game from back in either the late 60s or early 70s called Kerplunk with a K. Look it up, Kerplunk. And it has all these little sticks sticking in it. And there's a marble or a few marbles. And you take turns pulling the sticks out. And I guess whoever makes all the marbles fall out, Kerplunk, is the loser or winner. I don't even remember anymore. We had a lot of fun with it. But that's the energy that I'm picking up for you, Gemini. And it's just saying that there's going to be a few kind of false starts that might happen, but no matter what you're doing, you're still making your way forward. It's just not going to be an A to B situation on your journey. And hey, being aware of that, you get to make the most of it. Like I said, with the Seven of Cups, you get to choose how you want to feel about it. And then how you feel is going to determine the other circumstances that come your way. Because the final card you have here is the Six of Wands. This is the card of victory. This is the card of celebrating what you've accomplished and being around people who are there to celebrate you. It's okay to stand out a little bit. It's okay to receive the rewards, whatever they might be. Hey, maybe you're not getting an Oscar, and that's totally okay. This can be just ordinary, everyday stuff, but be willing to celebrate what you've already done. And I truly think, even if you're starting out or finishing this month of January with the energy of like, duality, it could go two different ways. Just keep focused on, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to be celebrating. And that's all you need to do. All right. Well, there you are, Gemini. Let's move on. All right. This is for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's pull 4 cards and see what we have. Okay. So you have the 10 of Wands. Tens have been showing up a lot in these readings. 8 of Cups, 2 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. So for you, Cancer, it definitely feels like you're still in the midst of releasing the past year, 2024 or beyond. And you're actually doing a lot better than you might think you are. So really just trust that part of the healing process, or the, I don't know what other word, that's just what comes to mind. And remember, this is a collective reading. So if this doesn't resonate, just hang on. There might be another message here for you. But it feels like what you are doing to release is helping you heal on an emotional, physical, mental level. Okay. And it's releasing those burdens. And I really feel like you have been doing that work. And it might not be going as quickly as you want it to, but I think some of the resistance is, for me, it's the 8 of Cups, is you resisting moving beyond it, because it feels like maybe you need to remember so it doesn't happen again. And I think just trust your emotions and your body to know that you will remember the lessons that you need to remember, so that you can now just cut ties with it all, like truly let it go. Don't look back, and trust that you are going to be coming into some new experiences. And hey, you know what? They might feel, look, and taste and touch exactly the same as your past experiences, but you've got to release them so that you can see these other experiences with fresh eyes. Because, and here's the 2 of Cups, because every circumstance and every person we come in contact with, every experience we have, even though there's a lot of familiarity to it, there's also new ingredients. There's a new day, there's a new time, there's a new month, there's a new year that is shifting what that other experience is actually like. So sure, there's going to be familiarity, but there's also newness. So look beyond the familiar and find that newness, or the new combination of things. Okay. Because it's the familiar and the unfamiliar, when they're combined, you're getting a whole new adventure. Okay. It's like those adventure books back in the day, where it's like you choose this one thing and you flip to that page, and that continues the adventure, and it's going to look different than other ways. So there's also the 4 of Wands, because I think this is what you should really be focused on if you have any confusion about what you've been through. Like I said in the beginning of the reading, for thinking that if you forget, you'll forget, the lessons that go along with it. And no, you need to remember how this uplifted you. You need to remember that now you are in a place of a higher vibration, and you have what it takes to create that solid, reputable, I don't know what the word is, have a good reputation. Let's shift it around for whatever it is moving forward from this last bit of January to what's coming up for February for you. So there you go, Cancer. I hope that makes sense for you. And we're going to continue with the next reading. And yes, with the magic of editing, I make sure I really shuffle the cards, so we get a good, clean reading each time. So now we are on to Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Let's pull 4 cards and see what we have for you. Okay, now I'm so glad I said in the beginning that I do shuffle, put the cards back in and shuffle, because this is the same card that just came up for Cancer. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands. The adventure continues is what I'm picking up from here. And it feels like this isn't, often 10 of Wands is like releasing your burdens and that. But what I'm feeling for you is this is you, what you've built so far. And you know, because I'm drawn to each one of these torches where they are still, you know, you light them, you stick it in the dirt, and you move forward. And as you go along, you are leaving, I want to say leaving a legacy. Okay, well, I just did say it. It's kind of corny, but it feels like that's what you want to work toward now. You're starting to take the actions that you are doing a lot more seriously. You've got plans, and you're willing to put your stake in the ground and move forward. And this is the perfect time to keep January as the springboard as you're moving forward into the next thing in your life. And I love it because you also have the Page of Wands, which is definitely having that vitality and the energy to keep moving forward. And the beautiful thing is, when you do this, Leo, you're doing it because you love it. Even though this is something that you do want to accomplish, and like I said, leaving a legacy, well, that's kind of got some serious tones to it. But at the same time, you're loving what you do. And because you love what you do, you're putting that extra energy into it, that it's feeding you now to help feed you in the future, is how it's coming to me. And then we have the Queen of Swords, because it's not just about taking action. It's about taking stock in the things and the moves you need to make moving forward. It's about having a plan, trusting the plan you've already made. So it feels like if there was some doubt creeping in, or maybe some distraction about, oh, maybe I should do it this way. Ooh, I just learned this new thing. Maybe I should do it this way. This card, the Queen of Swords, is saying keep focused on what you're doing. Those other things you can deal with later. But for now, and because it's not saying no, never. For now, it's don't have FOMO, fear of missing out. You want to keep focus forward. And that's where the momentum is really going to pick up. That's where things are going to become a lot more aerodynamic, if you will, as you strive forward. Because we got you, Leo, sun. The sun is your planet. And this is perfect because it's really showing that the steps, you know, we started with the 10 of Wands, the steps that you've been making, you're putting your stake in the ground and moving forward, leaving that legacy, because those wands are going to burn eternally. The work that you're doing is not fleeting. Okay. And I know it's a collective reading, and you might be like, oh, that's like big. I don't have nothing like that going on. It could be something a little more ordinary. Who knows? Maybe it's just teaching your kids how to tie their shoe, and you know, therefore it is what it is, right? But I'm also feeling, I'm standing by what I said before, and it also feels that this is showing you of what your focus is. This is who you are meant to be. And I'm getting kind of emotional. It's just kind of coming up, but it's like you finally feel like you're who you are. You can look down and you see that you are standing in your own shoes instead of walking in someone else's footsteps. I love it. I love this for you, Leo. All right. Whew. And now we're going to move on to the next sign. So we're moving into Virgo next. Okay, Virgo. This is for your mid-January reading. All right, we're continuing with all these 10s. We have the 10 of Cups. This is, you definitely want to be focusing on how to feel good. Okay. 8 of Wands, Lovers, and the Queen of Pentacles. So bookends, you've got the 10 of Cups and then the Queen of Pentacles. So in order to have the amazing home life and feeling good about where you are. It could be work related too. It's where you spend most of your time. It's focusing on how to connect with others and how you can feel really comfortable being where you are. So that's what I get from those guys. Let's look at, so then we have the Eight of Wands and the Lovers. Okay. So Eight of Wands is about swift action, things happening quickly. Things that are in alignment definitely move swifter than things that are kind of all over the place. So it's making sure that the actions that you're taking are all feeding toward whatever it is you want to accomplish. You know, how do you want to bring that success in? Okay. And to me, it's not necessarily, and we have the Lovers, which, you know, the Lovers isn't always about love and soulmates and that. This is tarot. So this is, things can go a little deeper. And what I'm picking up is that this reading could definitely be based on relationships, but I'm also thinking that it's definitely based on what you see as success. Okay. And I really believe that if you don't believe that success is when you're feeling happy and joyful and connected, and you might think happiness is when you've succeeded and made that money or got this thing or, you know, won the entire settlement in a divorce. And, you know, if you think that's success, well, I hate to break it to you. Success is when you're feeling good. And sure, those things might make you feel good, but let me rephrase that. You're satisfied. You're in harmony with life. You're having the adventures you're meant to have. So it's important that even if those physical things are happening in your world, you've got to enjoy what you're doing. You've got to find that connection so that it feels right. You know, you talk about soulmates. Well, there's soul journeys, there's soul connections, and that's an important part of life. So maybe this is something that you're just discovering, Virgo, but I mean, I think at the same time, this is kind of your card too. So where does this resonate in your own life? I ask you that question because you know you best, don't you? All right, so then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And yeah, this is about you feeling comfortable and not just sort of comfortable. It's that you're totally living comfortably in your own life, wherever that is. It could be in your living room. It could be, you know, cuddled up with a good book in bed, or it's just you doing life, right? We've got this Eight of Wands. So there's a lot of action and activity that's happening. And maybe this is, okay, this is coming up too. Collective readings, you get kind of a lot of different energy going on. But if you've been doing a lot of activities and it has been all focused on moving forward, great, because your reward is coming up where you can sit in that energy. And I'm almost getting like wallow in that energy a little bit. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to stop and love what you've accomplished and how it's shown up in your life. In fact, it's not just okay, it's mandatory. If you want to do things right, if you want to keep this on repeat for this entire year, then you've got to stop and really honor and enjoy what you've accomplished already. So more keeps coming to you. All right. I love that for you, Virgo. Okay, we're going to move on to the next sign of Libra. 4 cards. Oh, love it. Love it. Okay. And you're like, what? I won't keep you in suspense. So we have the Fool, which is, you know, this is a reading for mid-January, right? So I get the feeling, based on these other cards, that you might be thinking, oh, I haven't really started the year off the way I wanted to. Okay, because you've got the 7 of Swords next, and you have the 8 of Swords. So you have 7 and 8. So things are happening in the order they're meant to happen is what I'm picking up. So the 7 of Swords is saying that maybe the stuff that you've wanted to accomplish so far, other things have been getting in the way. And there might be like your own blocks, but there also might be things that are coming up and like conflicting ideas or people with other opinions. And all of that is making the path too difficult for you to move forward. But what I'm also getting is you have a higher perspective now. And I think, don't take this the wrong way, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I feel like you think you don't have this better perspective. You actually do. And if you can just get out of your own way a little bit as far as the thoughts you're thinking and what you're focused on in the thoughts you're thinking, it's going to really help you. So and that's what the 8 of Swords is saying. It's releasing what you think you know about yourself or the circumstances that you've gone through. And I believe that if you can just see yourself from the same perspective that other people who love you, who like you, who look up to you, who respect you, see yourself through their eyes and let that be a reflection for you to now finally get back on track of what is it that you wanted? What do you want to accomplish in 2025? Don't beat yourself up that, oh, I didn't start what I wanted to, and it's already, January 11th is when I'm recording this. And you know what? It doesn't matter. You got 365 days. Well, less than 11. But it doesn't matter the time frame. Let that part go. Don't be so logical. Okay? Let go of being logical. To me is the 8 of Swords energy here. And when you really focus on what it is you want to accomplish, take the calendar out of the picture and just focus on things that you can do moving forward. And we have the 5 of Wands, which is usually a card of conflict and competition and things like that. But for this reading, I'm picking up that there are a bunch of different things you can do. And sure, they might not look like they're all working toward the same thing, but at the end of the day, that's your goal. And if it takes monkeying around a little bit to do other things, that's helping you. You're still moving forward. You're still gaining altitude. You're still crushing it, as the bro marketers like to say. So to me, it really feels like you're giving yourself multiple ways to stay inspired, and multiple actions you take are still leading you to that thing that really lights your fire. Okay. So that's for you, Libra. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to move on now to Scorpio. All right. Scorpio, fellow Scorps. This is for your sun, moon, rising, all of the above. I hope you watch the other readings as well. And let's pull 4 cards for you. Wow, a couple of majors. So we have the Chariot. We have the 9 of Swords. We've got the Sun. And we got the Page of Swords. So there's a lot of thoughts and a lot of energy going on. Let's see what we have here. So with the Chariot, energy is going to finally start to picking up speed, but you have to be willing to take charge, to lead yourself forward. It feels like you've been waiting for someone else to kind of help guide you. And I think in this instance, whatever it is for you, obviously it's collective reading. It feels like it's definitely you needing to take the next steps on your own. And it's not saying you have to do everything solo, but it feels to me that it's time to stop waiting for someone else to help. And it almost feels like it's a kind of an excuse. So I'm calling some Scorps out there. As the Nine of Swords is saying, like being stuck in a nightmare, but you're focused on the negative things more so than the light that's coming in, right? If you have darkness, all it takes is one little spark, one little light that's going to dispel a lot of the darkness so you can actually start to get some clarity and start seeing what's what going on. So it feels like you are allowing these other things to be excuses, and they're good ones though, right? They're good ones. So you might be thinking that's not an excuse, but at the same time, how are we going to learn and grow? How are we going to control that, desire and that enthusiasm if we just let everyone else take the reins, right? Instead of we doing it for ourselves and thinking for ourselves. Finally, what you focus on expands, because the sun, this is what you truly want. You can allow downloads to happen from spirit, is what I really pick up from this particular deck, Lightseer Tarot with Chris Ann. It's an amazing deck. I love it. And it really feels like this to me is the card of dance like nobody's watching. Like she's just doing her own thing for once, because it's letting go of that thought rigidity is what comes up, and just being who you are. So you're going from being the uptight, do everything by the book, to someone who's just this free spirit. That's what's going to get you moving forward with that chariot, right? And then we have the Page of Swords. So this is an amazing card for trusting the knowledge that you've gained and the knowledge you're willing to learn. So this is definitely not in a state of ego where I know that. This is definitely, hey, I know some things and I'm willing to learn more. This is like a lifelong learner. And I think be excited about the mistakes you might make, because you're going to learn from them, right? Don't let trying to over plan things get in the way of you just getting out there and doing it. Like, just go, just do it. Trust me, Scorpio. I think I got to listen to my own advice. Maybe that's why I decided to do this format a little bit differently. Who knows? So there we go. I'm going to reshuffle all these and stick them back in the deck, because next up is Sagittarius. Oh, sun, moon, or rising sign for Sagittarius. Oh, we've got the World, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Death and Rebirth card. Wow. Okay, bookends. All right. You have the World, coupled by death and rebirth. Like it's that cycle moving forward. Okay. Don't be freaked out by this. All right. That's death and rebirth is not literally what that card means. Okay. Let's unpack it. We're starting with the World. Okay. So this is mid-January reading. All right. So you have big plans. You have aspirations. And to me, it feels like you've been making momentum so far this month. And if you don't resonate with that, then that's okay. Keep watching. There's probably something else here for you. Because it feels like this isn't something that has been quick. Like you've been on this path for a while. You've been doing what it takes. You've been going through the different cycles for a while now. Because next we have the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel that this is showing you that you're finally going to start seeing some results. And you've put in the work. You've had little wins along the way. And the beautiful thing is that you've been acknowledging them. And because you've been acknowledging them, you're going to start seeing even more growth. That acknowledgement to me is like the fertilizer that keeps things growing, right? And you need to apply fertilizer on a regular basis. It's not just a one-time thing. So it's okay to revisit the things that you were that you have in your life now because of the work that you've been doing. It's okay to have appreciation and gratitude, right, for the little things, because they all come together emotionally to create the bigger things. And speaking of coming together, you've got the Three of Pentacles, which is always a card of connecting yourself with other people. It's like being that link that helps bridge what you know with what you can learn in the material world. Like it feels like you've created a community of people who understand what you do and how you can show them that it's something that they can do as well. That it's easy. Just watch and learn and do what I do. All right. So maybe you're the teacher, but also maybe you are the student in other aspects, and it might be from the same group of people. And we end with the death and rebirth card, just as we begin with the world, to show you that even though you've been doing a few things that are bringing momentum up in this new year, that things will start looking a little bit different. So don't be surprised when you turn around and kind of think about where you were a month ago to where you are now. It's going to start looking a lot different. So it's more like when you look back on now in the future months, that's where it's really going to feel different. And I'm picking up that even though there's no swords in this reading, there's going to be a little bit of a wistfulness. Might even be some grieving that you need to do, because the future present looks so much different than when you first started. So I don't know. It almost feels like there might be a feeling of disappointment, even though you will get through that and you will then focus on, oh, this is the new way of us doing things. And then we're going to circle back around to the world again. And it's just going to keep cycling. So if you feel like you're stuck, if it feels like things are going too slowly, if it feels like you always have to rely on other people, trust that this is going to shift and change, and you're going to come full circle. Oh, I like that for you, Sag. So next we will be doing Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. Ooh, cards are getting squirrely. Squirrely. Let's try that again. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising. Ooh, we start out with the Strength card. We've got the Nine of Swords. Okay, let me show you. Strength card, Nine of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Oh, so whatever it is that, I think it feels like you've been, since the summer, you've been shifting and changing and strengthening yourself. So you've made a big difference since the summertime is what I'm picking up. It's Leo energy, so I'm thinking, July, August time. But it feels like, or there's been something that you've been wanting to accomplish since then, or you've been trying since then, and it hasn't really come to fruition, or it hasn't really shown up in a way you want to. So that's what I'm picking up with this Nine of Swords, is that you've been worried that things aren't quite happening the way that you wanted them to, or it's not happening fast enough. But you need to realize that you have built a solid foundation. And I've got the Four of Pentacles, that even if you might not be seeing physical results in your world yet, it feels like you are allowing yourself to make that get in your own way, where you need to trust that you have been building a solid foundation. And it might not look like much right now, but that's okay. You're able to build on something that takes a little more time to do, and takes a lot more structure to do it, because you've got this King of Swords. And this really feels like it's showing that you overcome everything that's gotten in your way. The struggles you've been through, the obstacles that have gotten in your way, the failures. Not everything is a win. Truly, we strengthen ourselves more on the failures we have. Wins are great, right? But we can only be on that high so long before we kind of have to, before it doesn't feel like, it's something exciting anymore. It becomes normal, right? So we need that next step up. And as we do that, we get to the peak of the success we want for that particular thing. So whatever this was for you, it feels like it could be for different people, different Capricorns. Like it might have to do with relationships. That's something that popped into my mind right now. And I don't do relationship readings per se, but it also could be something like a lifestyle change that you've been wanting to bring into your life. And perhaps it's that you're shifting how you've been thinking about things, shifting and thinking about the past, having the courage to move beyond that and trust that everything is happening in a way that's making your present life and near future a lot more stable. That's what I pick up. It's a lot more physically stable as well as mentally stable, where you just keep focused and having that confidence, not brava confidence, but that stillness, confidence in everything that you're doing moving forward. I love that for you. It's a great way to end January. And let's do the next reading. All right, so this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we have Page of Wands, the Hierophant, we've got Death and Rebirth, and the Four of Swords. Okay, so to me, it feels like you've started this year with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. Definitely. And it feels like you're really connecting more with your spiritual self, that spiritual side, judging by the other cards. But what I pick up here is that you might be doing too much too soon. You don't want to burn out later. Okay. It's okay to, the action you take could be something that's a little more spiritually based, like meditation. And if you're someone who doesn't like to sit still or something, there's other ways to meditate. For me, meditation means clearing your mind on what the thoughts that are coming up that are really weighing you down, for lack of a better way. But regular meditation, it's something that just kind of lets you recharge your batteries. And when I say the things you're thinking, doesn't mean don't think about thoughts. Like, you probably know about meditation. You don't need for me to explain it, but pop in the chat, if in the comments there, if you have any questions about it. And I've been meditating for years and years, and it really makes a big difference. And I probably needed to have meditated longer and more often in some cases, but hey, it is what it is. So trust what you are doing or what you can do moving forward to give yourself more of that spiritual connection. And meditation is only one way to do it. If that totally rubs you the wrong way, maybe you like reading books. Read a little more about spirituality. Delve into that side of things. Do it from a more intellectual point of view to start, if that helps you to get into it a little bit. If you're not quite into the energy and the woo side, it's totally okay. Approach it from a more pragmatic way if you need to. And that's going to help you use energy, and an intelligent energy, intellectual, mental energy. That's what I want to say, mental energy, instead of it just always kind of being physical energy. You know, we think with wands, it is about doing, but sometimes doing is thinking about it first, or connecting with that subconscious, super conscious energy you need to. And with the death and rebirth card, I really feel that this is something that might be a little uncomfortable for you. Or you might think, oh, I've tried that before and it didn't work out, so I'm not going to bother. Don't push away some of the ideas that people might suggest to you, like meditation. If it, like, stop and take a moment and think about it. Like, okay, what if I did do something totally off the wall and different than I usually do? You know, be willing to step out of your comfort zone and maybe see things from a totally different perspective. The old way is dead, is what I get. And then we have the Four of Swords, and this is a card of connecting with your inner thoughts, your inner self. Get to know that person. And you can really only do that if you slow down the physical stuff you're doing. When we quiet our body and mind, we can connect a lot deeper. But even if it's just quieting your body so that you can more focus on the thoughts you think or the emotions you want to feel. Okay, because I'm always drawn to the heart in this particular Four of Wands card, where it's not just about you releasing the thoughts and getting, or focusing on one thing. It's about, how do you feel? If you want to be intellectual and think about what's this and how does that work? Well, how do your feelings work? And I think that's going to really help you take the action in a different way, doing it different. It's different than you've done it before. It's okay. It's a brand new year, 2025. Why not do it a little bit different? All right. Well, there you go, Aquarius. We're on to the very last sign of the zodiac coming up next. So this is for Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. Let's see what we have for you for the mid to end of January. Wow. So I shuffled these. I put them in. I shuffled them around. But you get the same as the previous sign, Aquarius. So you're starting with the Page of Wands. Then you have the Queen of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Hanged Man. All right. Well, you are a fire sign. So to me, this represents you. I'm getting, and this is probably very specific, so if it's not for you, just hang on, things will progress. I'm picking up that you are having some ideas of things that, like when you were younger, and there's things that you wanted to do or you had dreams to accomplish or something, and you might not quite have had time to do them. And maybe this is just a brand new thought that's come in your head. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to want to, I don't know, no examples coming to me because collective reading and all, but it feels like you had these dreams of things you wanted to do, and now you're in a place where you're able to do that. And with the Queen of Cups, it feels like you're a lot more emotionally mature now to handle the little quirks and things that are coming up that have to do with those dreams and wishes you wanted to do. You're in a different spot. It's okay to revisit the stuff that really lit you up, even though you might be older or this might have happened and that thing went wrong. It's okay because you're in a different spot now. You're more emotionally mature, and you will have what it takes for the decisions that are coming forward, for the the conflict of ideas. And it feels to me like this isn't within you. This is something that's outside of you that maybe other people are horning in on something that's going on in your life, or you got kind of wrapped up in somebody else's stuff, which happens, it's called relationships, platonic or not. And it feels like you are definitely in a better, stiller place emotionally, like stable emotionally, that you're able to take what's coming your way. So remember that it's going to be a little different than before. And then you have the Hanged Man, which is the time to allow stillness to happen. Because while that stillness is going on, there's stuff happening in the background. There's universal stuff that's going on that's definitely integrating the actions you've taken or you want to take. And this is processing. This is processing what you've already done. It's processing the choices you can make. It's processing the deep emotional connection you've had or you want to have moving forward with whatever that is. It could be people, it could be goals you want to accomplish. It could be just being in alignment to attract the best part of your life so far. That's what I get for you. I hope you like this reading. And please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next week for some more videos. Oh, I'd also like to know in the comments, as I mentioned, if you like this format, if you'd prefer it just one off for each sign, let me know. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.